You are officially live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream today, and we are excited to discuss with you how you are going to be able to accelerate in your career leveraging AI skills. So, up front, you are going to gain massive amounts of value, first and foremost, with essential career path planning that's going to give you the competitive edge. But not only that, those that stick to the end are going to get a massive benefit of exclusive deals for our boot camps and also our services. So definitely looking forward to starting and really getting into this. So let's hear from you guys in the chat. Where are you guys tuning in from? Let's really get started and see about this engagement. So I'll be waiting for some comments. Where are you guys tuning in from? Let me know.
I'm also curious about what conferences you all have gone to this year or planning on going to this year. I just came from a tech conference this past weekend. I had a pretty good time. It was the Thrive conference that was in Fort Lauderdale. And so, of course, a lot of other tech conferences coming up this year. I know a lot of people familiar with Afrotech that's coming up. There's Techsgiving that's happening in the DC DMV area. There also is GovTechCon that's hosted by Bees or produced by Simone Bees. And also, we actually have a conference that's coming up. Not a conference. We have an event that's coming up later on this year as well. There's going to be including us as well as Buckhead Networking Group within a collaboration. So, but curious to see where all y'all have gone to so far.
Most definitely. That's super, super exciting. And there's so many major events. And as you guys already know, networking in tech is huge. So you're not going to want to miss out on this. So, all
Where
right,
y'all
we have
where
some.
y'all where y'all at in the chat? Okay, there we go. Hold up, y'all being quiet in the chat. Jesus Princess in Kansas.
Kansas. Welcome.
Yeah. I'm in Atlanta right now, y'all. For those of y'all, for the two of y'all that keep up with me traveling, I was in DR last week, and then Florida, Fort Lauderdale this past weekend for the tech conference, and now I'm in Atlanta, cruising Metro Atlanta, Tampa, Florida.
Amazing.
Ooh, are you okay? Did you stay during the storm or did you leave, Bijan or Bihan?
Raleigh, North Carolina. Welcome. Atlanta. All right.
Yeah, no, I'm not in DR right
Welcome
now. I'm in Atlanta right now.
back home. We love to see it.
Oh, you evacuated.
Go ahead, Steve.
What's up, Steve?
Glad to have you here. All right, Baton Rouge. Love to see it. Louisiana. All right. So we have people tuning in from all over. Love that. And so everyone that is here is going to gain massive amounts of value. So stay to the end, and you're also going to get exclusive deals. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start this presentation. My name is Ash. I am an AI specialist and also a founder of two AI driven startups. And I'm here with Cyrus today, who is huge in the tech industry, as you guys already know. And he's going to be here to really express his really personal experience on how tech is able to really elevate your life. So, without further ado, let's get into this presentation. Essentially, what you're going to be gaining as far as skills go is really being able to catapult your career within the future of AI. So, I have a AI agency. And so I'm always having people come to me and they're asking, okay, well, where do I start with AI? You know, what industries do I get into? How do I find my passion? Well, with this presentation, you're going to gain the first steps that you're going to need to be able to truly succeed. So this is foundational, and we're going to make sure that we maximize value and maximize you guys' time. So let's start talking about this AI job market growth. Okay, it's inevitable that AI is going to change everything, and so we have the timeline here. So back in the day, 2015, okay, we had just a few sporadic AI job openings. We accelerate over into 2020, 74% a year over year increase we have seen with AI job postings on LinkedIn. And so then coming into the next year, 2025, which is coming very, very soon, The World Economic Forum, we can see here, predicts that 97 million new AI enhanced roles are going to be on the market. So you can be confident that there are opportunities, and everyone always says that, AI is going to take your job, but you guys are going to be ready and prepared and empowered with the necessary skills to thrive and dominate in this market. So we're going to go ahead and get started with AI's impact on industries. And so we're giving you guys the tools so that you're going to be set up to win. And here's how you do it. So there are a few key industries, you guys, that are going to be accelerating your path. And so that's going to be starting off with QA, quality assurance engineering, cybersecurity, and data science. Okay. So with quality assurance, we're looking into being revolutionizing the AI process for testing and, of course, increasing efficiency and accuracy. For cybersecurity, we're looking at how AI can enhance threat detection, of course, and prediction capabilities. This is huge. Last but not least, data science, which is really focusing on AI algorithms, which are going to unlock the power of big data analytics. So without further ado, you guys, these are major lucrative career fields. So whether you're interested in QA automation, which is going to be focusing on AI-driven test processes, cybersecurity, enhancing defenses, and predictive analysis for threats, and also, last but not least, AI data scientists. So these three careers are going to give you the massive competitive advantage on the market. And so we're going to get into exactly why. So first and foremost, we want to get down to the bottom line, okay? There's a lot of money to be made in tech. And so you guys can be confident with every single one of these roles, you're going to be able to increase your salary and enhance your lifestyle. So with QA automation, we're looking at a salary increase of at least 40%, and that is really aligned with the demand. So, getting into AI cybersecurity, so we're applying and enhancing our baseline cybersecurity skills with AI. We're looking at a 15% increase, and that's going to be in addition to, of course, that baseline skill set. And with machine learning, we're looking at rapidly growing trajectories. So, machine learning, data science, essentially, it just encapsulates how you are going to be processing, analyzing, and applying data for solutions. And so that's what we need these days, especially. And so if you're interested in any one of these fields, this is what you're going to need. So essentially focusing specifically on quality assurance and cybersecurity, okay? These are your AI gateways, meaning that if you are to gain skill sets in either one of these particular areas, then you're going to be essentially guaranteed success. These are going to be transferable skills for the future. And so with quality assurance, we're looking at really focusing on 30% reduction in bug detection time with AI-driven QA processes. And so these are just a few benefits that we can see if you guys are going to be interested in getting into these industries and career fields. When it comes down to cybersecurity growth, we're actually looking at an expectation to grow and hit 248 billion by 2025, you guys. So much opportunity on the table, and opportunity is to be seized by you all that are here today. And so as far as career advancement goes, we're really looking at you being able to enhance your lifestyle due to the lucrative nature of these roles. So you can really look forward to earning more than up to 20% with your AI skills. So these are data backed statistics that you can really look forward to. So we're going to dive into the career successes. And so Cyrus is here for his personal testimony. And so essentially, we're looking at the focus on a career transition and also salary impact. So when we're looking into either three of those roles, getting into QA, cybersecurity, etc., and also expectations of a salary increase of up to 30% within 6 months of a transition. So Cyrus, he's the man with a plan here, and so please, Cyrus, I'll give you the floor so that you are able to share your testimony.
Yeah. So one of the things that I've been seeing first and foremost, just in the market in general. Of course, the tech industry is constantly paying more and more. It's constantly been increasing. One thing that's interesting about the tech industry, even before the AI boom that's been taking place, is that one thing I always talk to people about is how most other industries you work in, inflation is actually outpacing what like what you're making like just with a normal salary raise. I believe inflation right now is increasing on an average rate of about 4 to 6% on an annual basis, whereas the average person's salary increase is somewhere around 2 to 3% every single year. So that's part of the reason why everybody feels like they're getting more and more poor is because inflation is outpacing the average raise versus generally speaking, even before the AI boom, on average in the tech industry, the average person that would just stay at their job would have a salary increase of about $15,000 to $20,000, even if they just stay at their job. So their salary would increase $15,000 to $20,000 a year. But then, of course, if we get
Mhm.
into things like job hopping, or we'll just say transitioning to other companies, now we're talking about annual increases, or just every time you jump in general, having an increase of somewhere around 25, 30, $40,000. Sidebar, I personally don't believe anybody should job hop for, like, if you're job hopping to increase your salary, it's not worth it to job hop for like just $10 or $15,000 more, in my opinion. um but with the boom that's happening right now with AI, it's now just increasing that more, specifically for people that are upskilling when it comes to artificial intelligence. Um, I see a comment really quickly. I want to address this just for clarity. I talked about this last night during a stream, and y'all can look up the data on this. And actually, while Ash is talking, at some point, I'll actually pull this up so y'all can look at it. So Reese, your comment talking about layoffs in tech. I've shown this before. The news reports layoffs, but if you actually look at the data that's out there, 2024 is actually the best year to get in the tech industry, aside from 2021. 2021 was the best year, and we're probably never going to see a time like that again because of everything that was happening. It was kind of a perfect storm in a way, with everything that happened. But 2024 is actually the best year to get in tech. 2023 was better than 2022, and 2022 was basically the worst year. 2022 was literally the worst year. But yeah, so I would say don't pay attention to the news. Pay attention to the actual data that's out there and what's happening in the tech job market. So not only is 2024 better than 2023, which is better than 2022, but 2024 in particular, this specific season right now, there's a lot of mass hiring that's going on with different tech companies, and I'll pull that up. I'll show y'all the site that I get this information from, so y'all can always track it. I'll pull that up a little bit later on. But yeah, so again, make sure y'all, and this is for everybody, make sure y'all are tracking the data that's out there and not the news. Again, there are layoffs that are happening. Let's be real. There are mass layoffs that are happening, but the mass layoffs cannot even come close to comparing to the hiring that's happening across the industry. Notice whenever they
Yes.
mention mass layoffs, they mention certain key companies. There are tens of thousands of tech companies that are out there. And so again, when they mention mass layoffs with 3 or 4 companies, what they're not talking, y'all know how the news gets clicks off of fear mongering and off of fear. So we have to keep that in mind. We have to keep that in mind. So I mean, even talking about AI, most of the news we see with AI is kind of scary news, but there's a lot of great news of wonderful things that AI is doing, and that's the news that most people aren't paying attention to or talking about. So Reese said, yeah, I had friends that got laid off. Not that, yeah, real people are getting laid off. Reese, I didn't say no one's getting laid off. I didn't say the layoffs are being made up. The layoffs are, people are actually getting laid off, but there are significantly more people getting hired right now than getting laid off. The industry is hiring. Um, yeah, I'll pull it up, and I'll pull some. We'll use some AI later. Actually, it'll probably be fun. Y'all stick around until the end, y'all, because I want to allow us to go through this. But stick around until the end. We're gonna use AI to show you that no industry, not the healthcare industry, like you're not gonna be able to find an industry that's hiring more than the tech industry. So if you're worried
Yes.
about the tech industry, then that means you need to worry about the healthcare industry. That means you need to worry about the finance industry. That means you need to worry about every other industry, because there is no other industry that is hiring more than tech right now. But again, people only talk about tech because it's the popular industry. But tech is actually hiring more than every other industry that's out there. So again, if you're worried about the tech industry, you might as well just not work in general, because you better be worried about every industry then. But again, whether or not you're worried about what's happening in the industry and the market, this lines up specifically or perfectly with the conversation we're having. We're talking about upskilling with AI. So, I mean, you upskilling with AI, it puts you ahead of the market. That's the entire purpose of this, is that you're not just learning the typical things in the tech industry, but you're learning the latest and greatest with artificial intelligence, enhanced education. So that's the name of the game.
Yes.
So, all right. But anyway, so but kind of
Love
going to
that.
yeah, salaries are being impacted. They're increasing. It's already been a thing in the tech industry that if you want to increase your salary, aside from job hopping, you usually would just kind of upskill, usually with different certifications, or some people that are already in the industry will end up taking a boot camp to upskill or expedite their growth. But now the education with artificial intelligence is another thing that's booming and increasing that growth, as well as giving that job or career security that everybody at the end of the day wants.
Yes, so well said, Cyrus. And he's absolutely right. I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to supply and demand, and there's no higher demand than in the tech industry right now. So you guys are in the right place and you're going to be positioned to win. So let's really emphasize that we can expect a 30% average salary increase within the first 6 months of the transition. Okay, and so this is accurate data that's presented, but it's also average data. So we're really looking at truly being able to enhance your lifestyle by getting into tech. And so let's go ahead and continue so that you guys can learn more skills that are necessary to really transition. So what you're going to need to know when we're getting into QA, when we're getting into data science, etc. We're going to be having essential skills, including Python, okay? Programming languages, there are several of them, but Python is used in 80% of machine learning jobs. So you are going to want to, just make sure that you solidify that skill up front. Python's one of the more complex computer programming languages, and so it's very, very beneficial and it's definitely going to be a necessity. So second is TensorFlow. You guys have all heard of this. It's essential for building and deploying machine learning models, okay? Analyzing data. Last but not least, of course, automation software. So this is critical for QA and cybersecurity roles. So when we're looking at getting into these positions and having transferable skill sets, these are the core skills. So write this down and take note of this, you guys. Python, TensorFlow, and automation software. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get into how AI skills can impact job performance. So we have already heard and seen that, of course, some people in the tech industry are being laid off because, of course, there is AI that can help really maximize efficiencies and business ROIs. But at the same time, if you are able to really gain these skills, you are going to have a competitive advantage because you can transfer into essentially any role within tech or artificial intelligence. So this is getting into the details of this. So with QA professionals, we're looking at 70% reporting on improved job performance after learning AI tools. So 70% of people essentially are saying that job performance is improved by learning AI. So this is going to be essential to really enhance your QA experience and really make you the most marketable candidate. And so when we're looking at employer preference, really making you that top 1% candidate, 80% of employers prefer candidates with AI automation skills. Let me say that again. 80% of employers prefer candidates with AI skills. Okay, so you guys are already here, you're listening to this, and you're going to continue to learn about these essential skills. And so when it comes down to career growth, AI skilled professionals, of course, you can expect to experience faster, accelerated career growth, faster than ever. So this is how you guys are going to win. And we're getting into the details of this. So the goal here, everyone here is going to be able to future proof their career with AI. So we're going to be getting into exactly how AI is going to be the ultimate career choice by specializing in either QA or cybersecurity or data analytics, etc. But we're going to be covering data-driven insights that are going to be giving you the essential skills to propel your career into the future. So this is the career plan, you guys. So if you want to experience explosive growth, we're looking at, of course, AI jobs soaring. So AI related positions are growing at 5 times the rate of other tech roles. So that means that if you guys are able to have the baseline of QA with an additional AI enhanced skill set, then you're going to be able to win. And so the boot camp that we actually offer provides you with just that. So you're going to also gain, quality assurance experience, but you're also going to have that AI skill sets that you're going to be learning as well. So you're gaining all the tools that you need. So this unprecedented expansion is going to offer you massive opportunity for career advancement. So everyone that is here, everyone that sticks to the end is going to be able to get exclusive benefits for making that transition. So make sure that you tap in. For cybersecurity, if you're interested in that field, of course, we're looking at up to 35% of an annual growth rate within this particular industry and field. So this surge really does show and indicate a critical need for these skilled professionals. So last but not least, QA, we're looking at expanding up to 30% annually, and that number is only going to increase. So we can see how these trends really highlight the increased demand for AI-driven testing expertise. So if you're interested in any of these roles, then you're going to be set up for the ultimate success. So the goal is everyone winning and future proofing your career so that you're not going to be one of those people who are laid off and replaced by artificial intelligence because you're empowered with the necessary skills. So when we're getting into it, we want to first start off by identifying emerging trends. So we've already covered that. We want to make sure that you guys are staying ahead by recognizing AI's impact across various industries. And so with this boot camp, you're going to be able to adapt your skill sets to meet ever evolving market needs. And second, we're looking at developing in-demand skills, of course, with QA and enhancing it with, artificial intelligence. You're going to be a top 1% candidate and you're going to be guaranteed interviews and of course, those lucrative offers. So really mastering these techniques are going to really help you to get into areas like machine learning and natural language processing, which is also huge in the AI industry. And last but not least, cultivating adaptability. Okay, everything is changing. We all know that, we all see that. And so you want to make sure that you're at the forefront of these changes so that you're able to rapidly change and really implement into your lifestyle continuous learning so that you can thrive in this dynamic changing landscape. So we're going to be showing you guys how you can develop a growth mindset to tackle all of these changes. So again, we're really setting you up to win here. So for the QA bootcamp and cybersecurity bootcamp, we're looking at really gaining cutting edge curriculum experience. So the bootcamp specifically is meticulously designed and curated to align with current industry needs. So we're data-driven, data-backed, and you can guarantee that you're going to take that next step in your career and gain the necessary skills that are going to be transferable. So you're going to be able to learn skills that are in high demand right now, not something that's going to be, changing so that you're not going to be able to find a job in the next few years. These are skills that are going to be transferable. So not only that, but you're also going to gain hands-on experience, okay? This is major. So you're gonna have that practical experience through real-world projects and simulations. So at the end of your day, you're gonna be able to apply your knowledge and solve real-world problems and real industry challenges, which all employers are gonna be looking for. So it's gonna set you apart, and it's gonna be able to help you secure those interviews and secure those offers. And last but not least, we have expert instructors and career counselors. So you're going to be able to learn from seasoned professionals with years of experience within AI and cybersecurity. So you can be sure and confident that you can benefit from their expansive knowledge and guidance. And so let's get into it, you guys. What you could also look forward to is personalized career guidance. So this is huge. Like I said before, a lot of people come to me and they're like, where do I start with AI? AI is so broad, there's so much that you can do, and it can be applied to almost every industry. So with career guidance, we're going to make sure that we set you up for success. And that starts off with custom career plans, okay? And so you'll be able to receive tailored guidance to navigate your unique career journey and also maximize your potential with personalized strategies. So I have a lot of clients come to me and they basically ask, okay, well, where do I start? And then they tell me about essentially their pain points that they're experiencing in their life, whether it be the particular industry that they're in right now, and they really want to know how they can maximize and optimize their time, because we don't want to have to spend several years to gain these skills. And so boot camps give you the ultimate solution so that you can spend up to 6 months. And that's probably at max 6 months. I believe 6 months to 12 is the average boot camp, but we're looking at 6 months where you can make that transition. So, um, this custom career plan is going to set you up for guaranteed success. And we tailor it specifically to your personalized needs. So, every step of the way. And when we're talking about, after you complete that boot camp or before that, when we're saying, okay, which boot camp should we take? Obviously, our boot camp is the best on the market. So we have both QA and cybersecurity. So if you're interested in up for that boot camp, you guys tap into that link. It gets started ASAP because you don't want to miss out on this opportunity. And at the end, we are going to give you an exclusive deal. So make sure that you stay tuned. But that's not all. We're also going to give you one. Go
Real
ahead,
quick, I
tap
want,
in.
I wanted to jump in real quick because I don't want anybody to beat us up. So y'all, so she technically just kind of announced something early, which is, it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. But right now, so we're literally in the midst of working on our relationship with the cybersecurity program that we're going to be like the number one program we're going to be offering to our audience and community, the same way we do that with QA. That isn't going to be something until November. So I just wanted to say that because I didn't want anybody that's here in the chat to be like, oh my God, yeah, let's go ahead and do the QA right now. That's like the process for like the onboarding of that is something that's taking a little bit longer than I thought. So we're not going to have that piece until November. But I just at least wanted to address that really quickly.
Yeah, appreciate you, Cyrus. Thank you so much for the update. It was really, really important. And so, everyone that's interested in just kind of getting started with their career, if they don't really know where to go quite yet, tap in with me. I do have an AI solutions agency called Ashura AI. And so, one of the services are the custom career plans. So, if you guys want to tap in, click the link below, book a time with me. We can have a conversation, discuss your needs, and get you on the right path. But to continue on, do you have any additional
Yeah,
points,
yeah. If
Cyrus?
I could jump in and say something really quickly. Look, y'all, I truly believe because I know a lot of y'all, whatever it is you want to do in tech or whatever it is you want to do in life in general. Like even I know some of y'all aren't interested in getting in tech, or some of you are already in the industry. I truly believe like what everybody needs. Everyone doesn't need to work in tech. I say that all the time. Everyone doesn't need to be in the tech industry. The whole purpose of Tech is New Black is just to say, whether you're in tech or you're not in tech, you at least should be aware of what's happening in the world when it comes to technology, AI, and you
Yes.
should be aware of some of the opportunities in the tech industry. So I want to be very kind of clear on that point. One thing I will say everyone needs though, whether or not you work in tech, whether or not you're an entrepreneur, whatever your goals are, I would say what's the most important thing is you leveraging things like what Ashley has with the AI training, whether it's for your business, whether it's for your career. Again, even if it's not a technology career, because we don't want to conflate the two. Like artificial intelligence, AI, yes, it is technology, but it's technology in its own realm, where it's technology that it's technology solutions that you can use no matter what industry you're in or no matter what business you have, and then even beyond that, just in your day-to-day life in general with your family. Like I'm using different AI solutions in my life when it comes to my schedule. It's helping me schedule my day better. And so I
Yes.
say this to express that tech boot camps are great for those that are like, yo, you want a career in the tech industry. But for everyone else, whether or not you want a career in the tech industry, what's honestly, in my opinion, necessary for all of us to start to learn is the education that Ash provides. So definitely, if I personally don't care, like personally, if anybody's hesitant about getting in the tech industry, the whole purpose of Tech is New Black is to like answer questions, give direction, give guidance, try to point y'all in the right direction. But that's still up to y'all. But one thing that I really do want to harp on is leveraging again like knowledge like what Ash has. Because I'm not an AI specialist, I'm not an AI generalist. That's her field, but I know enough, and I think we all know enough to know we see the writing on the wall. Like we see where
Mhm.
everything's going. So it's one of those things where I don't want anybody looking up 3, 4, 5 years from now and being like, man, I really wish I would have leaned into the opportunity to learn more about AI. because I mean, y'all see what's happening. Y'all see what's happening. So I just want to say that as much as I love seeing people get in the tech industry, at this point, the thing that I want people to prioritize the most is learning about artificial intelligence, getting really good at these things, getting good at these tools. And if, of course, you're going to get in the tech industry, whether or not you do Tech as a New Black or you do another program, make sure it is a program that has artificial intelligence education weaved into it, y'all. I cannot beat that drum hard enough. So if you don't like my face or if you don't like Tech as a New Black, that's totally fine. But just for your own sake, I want to see everybody win, and I want us to have like the best opportunities possible. So definitely make sure that you're tapping in when it comes to those pieces. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to say that real quick because I wanted to make sure I kind of like harped on that for y'all.
Yes, Cyrus, and honestly, I love that because, like you said, everything is changing. And so, for you guys to get ahead, you're going to need to tap into AI. But the great thing about artificial intelligence and the industry is that you can really choose something that you're passionate about. So there's so many industries, for example, robotics, healthcare, etc., that these disciplines can be applied to. So most definitely tap in, and in the future we're also going to be offering a AI course that's going to also allow you to expedite this process. So after this, of course, kind of baseline presentation, we really want to offer you guys the ultimate success. And so with that, we're going to be also looking into a AI course of our own that's really going to enable you to set yourself up for the ultimate success in this career. So let's go ahead and get into it as far as personalized guidance, okay? So you could also look forward to a one-on-one mentorship, okay? Everyone is different, everyone has different needs. And so through connecting with our mentorship, you can really look forward to discussing and having conversations with industry experts, people who can provide massive amounts of value, data driven insights, and support for your particular position. And so you're going to be able to be confident that you can benefit from a massive amount of experience and network beyond just what's already available. So we try to keep up with the latest trends, and you could tap in not only every Wednesday, but also every Saturday, where we also stream and discuss the latest AI and tech news. So we're already on top of it, and we want you guys to also join along in this journey. And so the AI revolution is here, and you guys are going to be ready to dominate. So, market updates, we already kind of discussed. We want to make sure that you guys are informed with the latest AI job market trends. Everything is changing. And so you can be confident that you're going to have that competitive advantage. Last but not least, we have exclusive job access. Okay. The tech industry is very competitive. All of us know this. And so, with these opportunities, either with a boot camp or with our one on one services and solutions, you can look forward to insider access to top AI job openings that are going to increase your chances of landing your dream job. Okay. So, not only are you going to be able to gain the knowledge, necessary skills to be able to transform your career and transform your life, but we also have beneficial services. And so one of them is AI resume automation. So you guys can just sit back, relax, and chill while your resume is being sent out to different companies. And AI can actually also respond to almost any inquiry. So any job inquiry, sometimes they ask about specific areas of your career, specific experiences. AI can automatically do that as well. So we're looking at 150 automated resume send outs per month. And so this is huge because it's going to give you a duality of experience, and you're going to be able to look forward to really winning when it comes down to the job market. So you guys can look forward to that. Tap in. If you guys have the link below, definitely click that and schedule some time so we can get you started either with the resume automation services or with the automated solutions for a personal consultation. So we're really looking at a future of personalization. And go ahead, tap in, Cyrus.
So I know we got a few questions in here. I want to go ahead and get to some of these questions really quickly. Khalid, I know you're speaking about SOC. We're gonna get some of the other questions first. One question I'm gonna ask y'all in the meantime while I'm going through these other questions, and y'all are submitting some other questions as well. One question I want to ask y'all: when it comes to AI and getting a career, what is something that you're looking forward to artificial intelligence being able to do for you when it comes to getting a career? So that's something I'm really curious about. Right now, with the AI solution that we have to assist people when it comes to getting jobs, there's different things that are being built out with it, and we kind of have a bit of a roadmap with it, with things that we plan to add and include in it. And we're curious to know like what is most important to people, or what's most like, what do y'all care about the most? Because there's a lot of things that we can work on with it, or that, and when I say we, again, I'm not the technical person, but it's our actual developers. There are a lot of things that we have on a roadmap for them to work on, but we realize we need to know what people want the most, so that way we can prioritize those things. So let me know in the chat, what's something, if in a perfect scenario, what would you like AI to be able to do for you when it comes to you getting jobs? That being said, I'll go through some of these questions and comments. So Corey says earlier, I've been in tech for 19 years, but only had one role with a tech company. Wow, that's amazing. That's impressive. You are dedicated. I always focus on tech roles in different industries. Mm, that's interesting. Okay, cool. All right. Rose says QA is best. Um, what else? What else? Camper says, "Is anyone going to Tex Giving in DC?" Yeah, I should be. I should be at Tex Giving in DC later this year. Um, yeah, I should be there. I'll be in Dubai. I'll be in Dubai the week after that, or the week before that. Is one or the other. One or the other. Let's see. Let's see. Um, let's see. Corey, I use PowerShell heavily, but I want to get into Python. Cool, cool. Khaled, you said, how can I get hands-on experience in SOC? So when you say hands-on experience, I'm assuming you don't mean knowledge. So you're already knowledgeable in SOC, I'm assuming. You're already knowledgeable in it, but you just want to know like how to get experience in it. One way I would say you can get experience in it, aside from, of course, working at a company, there are platforms that exist where you can do like tests when it comes to SOC, or like either be quizzed when it comes to SOC, or be tested when it comes to SOC, and kind of like fake scenarios, or what's the word I'm looking for? Like trials, not trials. Basically tested, like where you can do different tests that are like real world scenarios when it comes to SOC. So I'm assuming you speaking like SOC analyst, like cyber was what I'm assuming you're talking about. So super cool, super cool. What other questions do y'all have? Um, let's see. Hmm. Y'all are chill in the chat today. Okay, there we go. Jamie says, would it be better for me to do something like QA? Oh, another question has popped up. Would it be better for me to do something like QA or cybersecurity because I have felonies? I'm currently doing a tech sales boot camp. Yeah. So it depends on if you have a violent felony. I mean, first off, having felonies in general isn't the best thing. And obviously, you know that. Uh, yeah, if you have felonies, it would be better for you to do a non-customer facing role, because when you are in tech sales, as we all know, it's a customer facing role. And with that, the company knows that there is a potential eventual probability that the prospect or the client might do a little bit of homework on you. They might look you up for one reason or another. They might do that. And even if there's not even a thought of that happening, it's just still the fear in their minds of them losing a lot of money or losing a deal based off of the literally you are representing your company. And so, and again, in tech sales, it's not about if your client is looking to purchase the product, it's about if they're going to purchase it from you or purchase it from your company's competitor. So your company doesn't want to take a risk when it comes to that. I'm gonna tell y'all something that's actually gonna sound pretty crazy. It's a very transparent thing. I always try to be just really raw and open. Even with Tech is the New Black, like a lot of our team members, we have team members from all over the world. We have team members that are here in the US, and we have team members that live overseas, whether we're talking Pakistan, Philippines. And I mean, my team members that live overseas, they're smarter than us. They work really hard. They're amazing people. That being said, I have had that being said, I've had friends of mine who have boot camps, like boot camps that I've talked about, and they've told me, "Hey, Cyrus, it probably wouldn't be the best thing for you to have your non-American team members be a part of your career advisory team." Because when people are talking to your non-American team members and they hear a Pakistani, Indian, Filipino accent, Egyptian accent, it could make them think like this is a scam or something weird is going on. And I have noticed that there were some times where my team members would say, "Yeah, we keep having to convince people that this is Tech is the New Black," because I guess they're expecting to hear like a black dude or something like that. So now the reason why I bring this up is to highlight, again, going back to customer facing roles and how even with Tech is the New Black, we've been able to see, uh, even Tech is the New Black, we've been able to see ourselves, we've been able to see how having those certain types of basically just the importance of having the right person in a customer facing role. So definitely, you might want to go for a non-customer facing role instead. Let's see. Um, yeah, using ChatGPT to update my resume. That's a good thing to do. I would say if you're going to use ChatGPT to update your resume, and Ash, I definitely want you to chime in on this. I would encourage you to make sure you're using the latest and most enhanced version, which is, I believe, ChatGPT 4.0 or something like that. Make sure you're using the
Yep.
latest and most enhanced version. The other thing I would say is to really make sure you're giving it all the prompts that it needs. And I would say if you're using it to update it to a specific company or per company, you want to make sure you're copying the entire job description from the company, as well as just all of it. Copy all of it and feed all of that information into ChatGPT 4.0, so that way it can, again, you want to feed it as much information as possible so it can do what it needs to do. So you definitely want to do that, because one little thing, it can affect your resume. And the thing that's weird is that a resume is something that you don't really know if it's accurate. You don't know it until you put it out there in the market. So you really want to feed it as much information as possible, because you don't want it to cause you to miss out on a job that you would have gotten had the resume had a different tweak or two. So definitely be careful when it comes to that piece. Beautiful child. You said, where is the link for the boot camp? Yeah, I actually noticed that right before we hopped on, Ash. I was going to say something about that. That Nina, it doesn't look like she added the link for the boot camp in here. So, or maybe I'm tripping. No, it's in here. Yeah. No, it's in here. Yeah. So if you look at the description, let me make sure it's on YouTube as well, because I see it here.
Looks like we got temporarily disconnected from Cyrus, but nonetheless, we will keep. All right, welcome back.
I'm clicking too many buttons. So let me see if it's one moment, y'all. Yeah. Yeah, so it's in there. Just look at the description and you'll see it says like bit.ly slash, it's like a short and hyphenated link. If you click on that link, that's that's actually the discount link for the boot camp. So that's specifically Ashley's discount link for the boot camp. So yeah, you can use the link there and either talk to the team about the tech sales or about the QA. When you speak with the team, whichever one you decide, make sure you tell them that it was it's Ashes that she referred you, so that way they can make sure that you get a discount off of the program. So make sure you bring that up to the team. Um, oh yeah, so I'm sorry. Ash, can you double down on or correct or make any adjustment to my comment to Bijan, I believe is your name.
Yeah, Bijan, great question. And Cyrus, you answered it perfectly. So, when we're really looking to be ultimately competitive on the market by submitting our resumes, we want to make sure that it's tailored, of course, to the JD, that job description, but also we want to maximize the SEO. So, search engine optimization, it goes without being said, it's important because a lot of companies are using AI to really analyze resumes. And so, we want to make sure that your resume is top of the list. So It all comes down to the prompt. And so essentially how well or detailed your prompt is what your output's going to be. So you can even ask ChatGPT to kind of act as an expert in this field to really highlight the essential skills necessary or really highlight what's going to make you ultimately competitive so that you're able to really articulate your skills and experiences in the right way that are going to be able to appeal to these experts in the industry, if that makes sense. So Cyrus already covered basically all bases and checked all boxes when we're looking into submitting our resume, but there's many options to remain ultimately competitive. And so one of those is going to be, of course, personalizing, but also leveraging automation. So if you're not already, leveraging that in your job search, then most definitely look into that, tap into our career expertise and sign up for a time to chat in the link. There should be a link below to sign up for my coaching services. The first meeting is complimentary, so you can look forward to that. But I'm happy to discuss exactly how we can accelerate your career and also really tailor your resume as well, which is important. And then after that, get you started with resume automation services so you can kind of sit back and chill instead of having to do the whole brick and mortar process that's going to take forever for submitting resumes. So resumes are also a numbers game. So we want to make sure that your output is going to be, you know, of the utmost maximum potential. So
Okay. I want to clarify. So just to be careful, or just to be accurate. So for everyone who's listening, and you're like, yo, like if you're solely just interested in the AI education, again, whether you're a business owner, whether you're already in the tech industry, or maybe you're in another industry, whatever that is, and you just want to enhance whatever it is you're doing in life when it comes to artificial intelligence, and you becoming proficient in artificial intelligence, then you don't need to do the boot camp. So I want to just be very clear. That would just solely be you tapping in with Ash. As she just said, the first literally your first consultation with her is complimentary, which is fire, because I didn't even, I'm like, shoot, that's amazing. But aside from that, the boot camp, so the link that was just requested is specifically for the boot camp. Now again, the boot camp involves depending on, well, not depending on, each of the courses involve AI education within the boot camp, so that way you'll understand artificial intelligence as it relates to that role in tech, and of course you'll be able to have that leading industry education from that component. But I just wanted to highlight the differences from those pieces, so just so like you're going the right direction. And yeah, Miriam, you could just copy, basically go to techisnewblack.com, or you could just copy what I just posted. And again, you could just mention Ash. So even if you're not using her link, as long as you just mention her, then you'll be fine from that piece. Really good question. Tiffany says, oops, didn't mean to hit send. That's hilarious. Love this. Love this. Not sure how I stumbled on this webinar, but glad I did. I just started getting heavy into AI after 30 years in the military. That's really cool. And then I'm exploring
incredible.
different tools, testing, deep diving to get a good understanding of the different tools. Tell me build my LLMs. Ooh, that's fire. And move into prompt engineering. Want to know in the
Yes.
comments? I want to know in the comments who knows who doesn't know what LLMs is, or who does. All right. Do you have any favorite tools to help me better round off my learning when moving into these areas? Uh, there are definitely a lot of good tools when it comes to that. Um, I personally don't know of any tools that would be testing, deep diving, getting a good understanding of the different tools, help me build my LLMs and move into prompt engineering. Um, Ash, off the top of your head, do you know of any like one or two tools they could possibly use?
So I'd say the best tool for the number one option is going to be linking with an expert. So, scheduling some time on the calendar to really chat and see exactly how we can personalize your path. But you also want to start off with the baseline of essentials that we discussed earlier in the presentation. So that means getting to know data analytics. That means working with Python, just really kind of gaining the baseline experience so that whenever you are transitioning into these roles, it's going to be a seamless process because tech transitioning from tech from any other industry or career is definitely going to require a learning curve. So if you want to get ahead, start to learn the essential skills and definitely week in with an expert so that that transition is seamless and also accelerated because you don't want to, take too much time out by, you know, getting into the tech industry.
Good stuff. Thank you, Reese. Reese jumped in. Large language models. That is the $1 million question. What are LLMs? So yes, large language models. I used to think it was long language models, but somebody corrected me. I know it's large language models. So anyway, so Camper, I see your question. Really good, good question. Sorry, I skipped past that. But Camper says, "Oh, we actually got two good questions. One from Tango and one from Camper." So Camper says, "I'm currently in North Carolina State University cybersecurity boot camp. I've been talking about this, y'all. When people talk about like boot camps not being valuable, it's like most of these universities have made boot camps now. So like they're very valuable. Like Harvard has a boot camp.
Yes.
Like they all have boot camps. So because they
Mhm.
know the market and they know where things have gone and they know the value of a boot camp. Because most of college is fluff. We all know about 80-90% of the other stuff you got to do in college isn't even necessary to the main thing that you're there for. And so college is just fluff. They have these extra things just to justify charging you these crazy inflated prices. It's really the craziest thing ever. It's like you ask to pay for a service and they say, yeah, but you gotta get all this other stuff too. And it's like, but I'm not here for that. It's like you got to take it though. Like it's kind of crazy. But anyway, yeah. So, but your question is it worth doing the cybersecurity boot camp at the college if it's worth finishing it if it's $170,000 in total? What's funny is that when I first looked at this, I thought it said 17,000. And my thought at first was like, that's a little expensive for a cybersecurity boot camp. But I mean, yeah, it's worth it. It's cybersecurity. But now I realize you said 170,000. Y'all see how hilarious that is? I want to point this out real quick, y'all. It's still a boot camp. It's just a boot camp from North Carolina State University, but it's still a boot camp. They're charging $170,000. Whereas the average cybersecurity boot camp, like the one that's not attached to a university, is worth or not worth, excuse me, costs around $15,000. Now I've seen some that are 12,000. I've seen some that are 12,000. I've seen some that are 10,000. I personally wouldn't trust a cybersecurity boot camp if it's only like $2,000 because there's so much that goes into it. I would question the quality of it once it's that low in price. But that being said, yeah, no, $170,000 is ridiculous. Yeah, unless you're about to be finished in the next year, don't do that. Like that's crazy, crazy. You could do there are quality cybersecurity boot camps out here. Um, um, I mean, even if it's not ours, like there are other quality ones that are out here that do not cost anywhere near that. Like, please don't do that. That's crazy because 3-4 years and $170,000. You know how long it's gonna take you to pay that off? Like even when you're in tech, it's like let's say you get a six-figure salary, but you don't even get to enjoy your money because you're paying back $170,000. That's crazy. Please don't do that to yourself. Please don't do that to yourself. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say to that. Don't do that. That's wild. Man, college is such a scam. Colleges literally said, "Oh, look at all these tech boot camps that are popping up. We want some of that money too, but instead of us charging 15,000, we're going to charge 150,000." And I promise you, let me get off. Let me get off that topic. But yeah, please don't do that. That's crazy. Craziness. Um. All right. What is it? It looked like 17,000. Maybe it is 17,000. Maybe I'm crazy. I probably am crazy. Oh, if it's okay, yeah, I'm tripping. You know what? I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Y'all know what the problem is. I've been traveling so much. Like my brain, when it comes to like money, my brain is like all over the place because I've been looking at COP, which is Colombian pesos. I've been looking at the I think it's DP, which is or it's like the Dominican money. I've been looking at the dirham, which is Dubai currency. It's like y'all, I've been seeing so many different currencies that when I see like zeros and numbers, it's like my eyes are like going like this. It's like, what am I looking at right now? Okay, yeah, if it's 17K, yeah, that sounds totally fine. Now again, that's a little bit more pricey than most other cybersecurity boot camps. But it's like as long as the program is good, you, you know, again, 4 years is 4 years, 2 years, 3 years is a long time, but it's not that long
Mhm.
in retrospect. Like it's cool. People do it. That's college. That's the thing. But yeah, 17K isn't crazy for cybersecurity. That's not crazy. That's not crazy at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Tiffany said 17K is too much. Yeah, 17K is more than what boot camps typically charge, but again, it's a college boot camp. So they have to justify, they gotta have these extra expenses and things tacked on, whatever. But yeah, that's not crazy. So yeah, good stuff, good stuff. So oh yeah, I guess I was answering questions. Y'all stop asking questions. 17K is not bad if you have a job started out over 100,000. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in two or three. Tango put a question mark. Was there another question in here? Oh yeah, yeah. You did have post a question here earlier, Tango. Let me go back to your question. Oh yeah. Oh Ash, I would love for you to touch on this as well. Tango asks, where does one find the motivation and energy to want to do this, other than money? Serious question.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
work
I
in
love
tech.
that question.
So I'll tell you for me, I actually I really like working in the tech industry. Like, and so the money, I would probably say money is definitely number one for me. Like, it's definitely number one for me. And it's not because of money in general. It's because of what money allows me to do. Like I was telling Ash right before we came on here, I was scammed today, y'all. Like, not like scam, but I literally fell part of some weird Airbnb scam. Like, there's an Airbnb host that I think they have fake listings. They're doing something on there where I booked, and then they told me I had to cancel. Like, it's like a lot of weird stuff going on where and that cost me about close to $1,000 that they took. And that happened. And a couple other things happened that literally just recently cost me a couple $1,000s. And I could have been stranded. But guess what? God is good. I have money. So I was inconvenienced, and the Airbnb host, in the midst of the scam, they ended up sending me like some like smirk, like some emojis, like being petty, and being like, "Oh, go ahead and you got to stay somewhere else now." And I was like, I mean, I'm gonna be inconvenienced for a few days, but I'm just gonna go to this hotel, and now I'm at a nice hotel, and it's because of the luxury of having money. Same thing with like certain flights and traveling, and when things happen and tragedies happen, money is not your concern anymore. It's like you're inconvenienced, but you're not like, oh my God, that took my money or that cost me money. What am I gonna do? So when I say like the money is my favorite part about it, it's not like just being Duck McScrooge, swimming around in the money. It's just the safety and security that it gives you. Uh, and so anyway, so that's that part. The other thing I love is the culture. Because yeah, it's a great culture, great companies. Most of the companies are at least are really great. But the other, in terms of motivation, what motivates me, I really enjoy it. I enjoy the technology. I enjoy what these companies are doing. This is a suggestion that I have for you. Then I'll pass it over to Ash. If you are not interested in the technology or tech industry at all, but you believe in your head this is an industry I should get into, or I should learn about this artificial intelligence, I would genuinely say pray. Like, really ask God to give you desires to care about this stuff. And that sounds crazy, but that's literally what I did. I was an artist. I came from a background of writing poetry and writing and performing at churches and colleges. And that's how I got popular on social media, was because I was traveling and doing poetry. And at all the events, people would follow me. And that's how I started amassing a bunch of followers. I, as an artist, I did not care about technology. I did not care about none of this stuff. Whenever people say they're IT, I'm like, okay, all right, y'all little nerds, whatever. I really was that person. But when I saw that this was where the world was going, and I was tired of being broke, I literally, in my car, in between Uber rides, I prayed and I said, God, I don't care about any of this stuff, but I know that these things are important. Can you change the desires in my heart and make me desire these things? And that's literally what happened. That's literally what happened. Now, it wasn't like my desires changed overnight. Instead, I put works with my faith. You know, the Bible says faith without works is dead. You know, and the Bible says a lot of things about, you know, you actually putting in action for something. And so in my faith, I decided to start listening to books on Audible since I was Lyft driving. I started listening to books like The Everything Store, which is the story of Jeff Bezos and Amazon. It's literally this, because at first Amazon, his idea for Amazon wasn't Amazon. At first he wanted to call it The Everything Store, which is literally what Amazon is. You know, I ended up listening to Elon Musk's story, and the story literally ended right at his story that I read was right after Tesla became successful. So it wasn't all the recent stuff that's happened. There's a more recent story that's been written about him, but I read his entire story. Steve Jobs, I read the entire Steve Jobs story, his entire life and everything that happened at Apple, his crazy like beef and friendship with Bill Gates. Like they're like frenemies, like they loved each other and hated each other at the same time. You know, I started reading these things, and before I knew it, I was in love with the industry. I was in love with the technology. I was in love with everything that was happening. So I would say pray, but also, you know, you got to put some action in as well, and God will meet you there. Ash, what is your motivation? I know some of your motivations because we talked privately a lot, but what are some of your motivations when it comes to being in this industry?
Yeah, well, thank you so much for that powerful testimony, Cyrus. And also, thank you for even asking the question, Tango. I think that it's perfect for this particular conversation. So, the question is just to run it back, where does one find motivation and energy to want to do this other than money? So, money is just a means to an end, you know? And I believe that beyond gaining wealth in this industry, it's also out of kind of a bit of necessity. So the future is now, as they say. And so everything is changing at an accelerated pace. And at the end of the day, what you don't want to do is get left behind. There are a lot of people who are, everyone in this chat right now is going to be ahead of the game. But everyone else who isn't here, they may have the possibility of being left behind because they're not going to gain the necessary skills that are going to be transferable, and that's going to put them in a position for ultimate success. So beyond money, beyond everything else, it's going to be a necessity because it really comes down to almost in a way of survival. And so if you want the survival of the fittest, and so if you want to be able to survive in the future, if you want to be able to apply your skill sets and be able to learn and adapt, because adaptability is key, then you're going to want to focus on tech, or at least keep a really close eye on it. But tech isn't, it's not negative. It's not something that's gonna, you know, take over like everyone. There's a dystopian future and there's a utopian future. And so I believe in a utopia. I believe in a positive sense. I believe in a better, brighter, healthier, happier world. And so you can look forward to contributing to that and being a part of that and building that future. So beyond the money, impact is huge. And also beyond it, you also want to be able to stay ahead of the curve when it comes down to everything that's happening with the technology. We have seen how Elon Musk now has the robots out. That's just the beginning. Where the future is here. We may be facing iRobot scenario very soon, but you want to make sure that you're at the forefront of that. So it's an exciting time to be alive. We should be excited. Money doesn't have to always be the driver. You can be passionate about tech, and you can also do what you love. So pick and choose an industry, pick and choose a sector, because there's so many options and opportunities with tech and AI, and go for it. You don't have to, just be driven by the drudgery of, okay, tech, I have to analyze data and be a quantitative expert, but you can truly, truly thrive in this world. So great question. I hope I answered.
Yeah, it was a great answer. Yeah, it is. It's definitely a necessity. And so, you know, as adults, I don't mean to say this in a condescending way. Y'all remember I served in the Marine Corps, so sometimes I could be just a little blunt. It's like as adults, we got to be adults. And it's like when we see that this is what's happening in the world, then we got to do what we have to do. And so we have to
Mhm.
adapt with the times. The irony is
Yes.
that the good thing about AI is that it can adapt. So it's like if we refuse to adapt, then it's gonna easily, you know, adapt and definitely replace us. So we definitely have to be able to adapt. And you know, that's the way God made us. God made us unique where we can adapt and pivot and make changes. So that's one of the things that makes us very unique. Um, so Tiffany says, when it comes to colleges, remember that a big component of a degree is also teaching soft skills, such as critical thinking, that is invaluable. Yeah.
Yes.
So to that point, Tiffany, I'm
Yes.
happy you mentioned that. That is one of the reasons why, like, there's a lot. I have a list of reasons why I don't prefer colleges over boot camps when it comes to getting in tech. And bump what I prefer. The market doesn't prefer colleges over tech boot camps. You know what? Let's have a little bit of fun. I don't want to pivot from this. So y'all, I've looked it up before on I've leveraged like ChatGPT and Gemini and other platforms, and a lot of the questions y'all are asking, I've asked those platforms like, hey, what would you say is a better path, the better path to get into the tech industry, a tech boot camp, or or going to a technical college. And so even the generative AI platforms are like a tech boot camp, like definitely they're shorter, it costs less money, and it's just at the end of the day, the market right now doesn't care about a degree or a certification. They care specifically that you have the education and that you can prove it in an interview. Now, let me be clear: certifications are a necessity in certain roles in industries like cybersecurity. There are certain certifications that industry-wide you are expected to have. It's just the standard. We're talking project management, you got to have your PMP. So I want to be clear with that. But generally speaking, across the industry, it's not a necessity when it comes to who is this? Okay, cool. All right, so um, anyway, so just make sure that whatever it is, anybody, whatever it is you're doing, if you're going to college to get a career in tech, you want to make sure you're learning more than just the education of the job, but that they are also teaching you the interview skills, the LinkedIn, all of those other pieces that you get from a quality boot camp. Just make sure that you are looking into those things. Tango says yes, that answered my question. Thank you both. Yeah, thank you for the question. Reese, AI will creep into all sectors. So if you don't want to get into tech, at least educate yourself on how AI will impact your life. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that's why Ash is such a valuable resource, because, like, you know, I am really good. Hey, Semper Fi, Steve. Um, I'm really good when it comes to educating people in terms of getting tech careers. That's something I've been doing now for the past couple of years. Tech is New Black. We've helped several thousands of people get in the tech industry. Um, but when it comes to this education, when it comes to the AI education, this is something where it's like it's way out of my depth, and it will be silly for me to present myself as an educator in this field or as a thought leader in this field. And so that's why I'm so grateful, to that Ash is collaborating with us, and that we have her as such a great resource. And that's why, I always recommend for people to tap in with her. Mm. I also think education gives companies somewhat of an insurance when hiring.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Soapbox now. Um, yeah, I will tell you, recruiters. So yeah, it matters because recruiters care to not hire someone who ends up being a bad candidate or underperforming candidate. So Tiffany, I want to be clear. I agree with you. We're both in alignment. I am heavy on education. I just believe we've been brainwashed to think education that education or college equates education, or education equates college. That's the thing that's like we have to get out of our heads, is that college is not the most superior form of education. That's just not the case at all. And so that's what I'm saying. Like college is a business, boot camps are a business. It's just, as a client, as a customer, we have to look and say, okay, as a customer, which one is giving me the best results the fastest, and at a
Yep.
price that makes sense. Now, I don't believe in things being cheap, because cheap denotes cheap, but things don't need to be exorbitant in pricing. Like,
Right.
kind of a quick, very, very quick history lesson for y'all. And I'm sure a lot of y'all know this. Tiffany, you probably know this, and then some. Like, the reason why college is so expensive, originally our government didn't back college. Originally, everyone had to pay for college out of their own pocket. Colleges were way more affordable back then. What happened was the government, I forget when this happened. I don't know if it was the 60s or the 50s. Maybe it was before that. Somebody can look it up, please. What happened was that the government, for one reason or another, I forget why, the government said, hey, we're going to back college. And I think it was because they were trying to encourage more Americans to go to college and get that education. What ended up happening once the government said, hey, if you go to college, they basically, when they created Sally Mae and said, we will basically pay for your college education and you have to pay us back. As soon as that happened, colleges increased their prices. Like, imagine that you literally used to have customers who could only afford to pay you $5,000, $10,000 for a degree. At that time, you're only going to teach them literally what they need. Like, you're going to give them what they need at a price point that makes sense for them. But then as soon as the government said, hey, we'll cover it, whatever the bill is, we will cover it. Colleges said,
Mhm.
what? No, you're fine, Tiffany. This is a great conversation. We love having this kind of conversation. This is nothing
It's a
bad.
valid comment,
Yeah.
and here's why. Because Tiffany, I'm glad you said this because I came across this thought the other day of the difference between common sense thinking versus critical thinking. And critical thinking is lacking so much in our society, and let me define it and tell you why. Common sense thinking is defined typically by just something that's more so intuitive, but critical thinking comes down to analyzing, the ability to analyze all points and be able to reason to come down to a particular decision or solution. And so critical thinking is something where AI has given us a massive competitive advantage so that we're able to aggregate massive amounts of data and come to conclusions. But a lot of people individually do lack that critical thinking skill, which is why our society is, in the place that it is currently. So I do agree that critical thinking skills are absolutely essential, and university does, help with that a lot as well. But it does not, connotate that higher education is aligned with that critical thinking either, like Cyrus said. But very valid point.
And again, y'all, college is great. I'm not against college, generally speaking. It's just if there's something that's better, it's like there's something that's better. Like, that's just really
For
what it is.
sure, I
Yeah.
agree.
Um, and so, and there's benefits to college that you're not gonna really get from boot camps. I want to say that as well. There are certain
Mhm.
things you get in college in terms of experience, in terms of relationships that you build. A lot of maturity happens in college, because especially if we're talking those college age years, there's a lot that happens in there that there's a lot of value to. Um, yeah. So,
Yes, and
anyway,
especially
this,
now.
yeah. What do you mean by that, Ash?
So, just with the accelerated pace of change, we're going to have to keep up with that. And so, with accelerated change comes the necessity for accelerated learning. And so, that's where the
That is
solution comes with boot
true.
camps.
That is very true. That's something I almost didn't even think about, because before, boot camps were just a way for people to get their skill, the same skills, but in a compact amount of time, basically expedite it and get the results that they want, which is a career. But now, because of the tech industry is advancing so fast right now, it's like there's no. I'm gonna tell you like this: when I was a Lyft driver, and I picked up these young boys from Georgia Tech. And I asked them, and I've told this story before. I asked them, I said, "Oh, what are y'all in school for?" And they said, "Oh, we're basically they were software engineers. They're in school to be software engineers." And I said, "Oh, wow." And they said, "Yeah, we're about to graduate in a few months." And I said, "Oh man, are y'all excited to like actually get out there and get a job and do what you've been studying?" And then they started laughing, and they said, "Man, everything we're learning is outdated to the market." They said, "We literally don't like literally we're getting quizzed on things that the market hasn't cared about in 2 or 3 years." So, so it's that's just another kind of another thing about it. And so, yeah, to that point, that was already an issue, and that was before the AI boom. But now with the AI boom and all of these
Yeah.
new updates, it honestly, it's a thing where a lot of boot camps are even going to struggle to keep up with it, let alone college. Like, so
Hmm.
it's really interesting. So honestly, I do, and that's why again I love what you do, Ash, because it's like, because even a boot camp in and of itself, like like even us, for example, y'all, like even our boot camp, we update our curriculum quarterly, but quarterly doesn't even fully keep up with how fast the market is changing. And so that's why
Mhm.
it's important to have someone like Ash, where it's like, because she is in this, she's in the thick of it. She keeps her finger on the pulse of what's happening. And so having someone like her, that's why we knew it was so important to have someone like her. Because to Tiffany's point, we need it's still education. It's just we need rápido, muy rápido, information quickly, fast,
Yeah.
quickly. Fast. Food for thought says he's right because I'm having to use AI right now to help complete my assignments because some of the codes and the scripts are outdated. Yeah, that's a that's a thing. That's a thing. Thanks for that comment. That's a really good comment. Food for thought. Your name definitely. You definitely live up to your name. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. Um, all right. Yeah, y'all are dropping some good stuff in here. Really good conversation. A really good conversation. I love it. I love it. Steve, did you tell me this before? Steve, are you a Marine? I feel like you told me before. Maybe I don't know why I'm having I just been traveling too much. Oh, great question. Ash, how do you
Yes.
keep up with the changes in the industry?
Yes, Steve Muhammad, love this one. So I would say that it really does rely on self-learning. So it's going to take you to have the initiative to really go out there, read the articles. But the good thing about it is that platforms like, for example, ChatGPT, what they do best is aggregate massive data sets, so you're able to essentially just collect all the essential information and have it in one place. But you want to keep an eye out on everything that's going on. And what's also important is truth in this information. So there's so much information and we're all being just kind of plagued with, fake news, et cetera, et cetera. But you want to make sure, first and foremost, that your sources are validated and accurate. And so there are a lot of those out there. There are a lot of platforms that provide the latest tech news. We ourselves have a stream every Saturday where you guys can actually have access to the latest tech and AI news. And so that's always fun. So we invite you to that. So this Saturday at 12 p.m. noon, we hope to see you. But if you want to keep up with it, just kind of really continue to do personal research. So we're going to continue with the presentation and make sure that you guys have all the essentials. Got you, Cyrus. So we're ready for the next phase.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
So yeah, I mean, we've had some great conversations thus far and great questions. So thank you guys so much for your engagement. I mean, this has been a wonderful conversation, but that's not all. We have so much more value to bring you guys. So we can get into that. So is there anything that you wanted to say, Cyrus?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right, you guys. So, without further ado, let's get into it. And this is the perfect transition because it's not just gaining just a baseline of knowledge. We know that there's so much out there. It really does come down to a future of personalization, okay? Personalization in every aspect, even when it comes down to your education and especially when getting you into tech so that you're able to take that right path that is for you. So, let's look at some numbers here, you guys. So, when we're looking at job search confidence, everyone wants to be confident when they're searching for jobs. It's really competitive out here on the market. So, with guidance, with career guidance that I provide and Cyrus and his team provides, you can be confident that there's a 90% success rate with guidance. But without guidance, we're looking at 75% success rate. So, you guys are in the right place to be able to gain the essentials. And so, when we're looking at higher level positions secured, we're looking at an increase of potential for 60% with guidance. Without guidance, though, we're looking at 30%. And we're looking at an average time to land a job, okay? We're looking at with guidance up to 3 months, okay? And that's pretty quick. But without guidance, we're looking at over 6 months. And so it goes without being said that the power of personalization is real. And that's what we offer here, Cyrus and I, with our particular services. And um, let's get into it. So As far as your AI career journey, so again, just being a founder of an AI solutions firm, we would really focus on providing you guys with the essentials. So when it comes down to skill acquisition, so mastering essential AI skills that are going to be able to allow you to really have that comprehensive necessity to transfer into whatever boot camp you choose. Okay, there's so many out there, and I will say that obviously the one that Cyrus has is the best in the market. But this is going to give you a strong foundation for your future career. And we're really focusing on how AI can help you win. So that personalized guidance is going to be able to help you optimize your career path. That's the goal. And so you can benefit majorly from expert insights and industry connections. And so when it comes down to that job search, okay, we want to make sure that you're spending the amount of time that's going to maximize your progress and success. So it's a numbers game. We have that automation service for your resume that's going to be able to put you ahead of the game, ahead of the curve, and also save you a lot of time, save you time and money. That's the goal. And so with this, essentially, you'll be able to really develop a targeted approach, which is going to be key, so that you are going to be first to get that interview for all of the latest job roles, not job roles that have been posted, 3 months ago, the job roles that are recently posted. You're going to be the first. So last but not least, we have securing your dream role. Okay. There's so much opportunity in tech. And so you are going to be able to secure something that you are passionate about, whether it's cybersecurity or quality assurance or data analytics. There's so many options for you within AI. So essentially, really starting your journey here would really help you to really gain long-term career success. So we're not just here to help you in the short term and then you're unable to pivot. With these AI skills, you're going to be able to win. So essentially, we do have some boot camp offers, but let's get into the advantage of this particular program. So we already discussed faster job placement, also course completion rate. You can be confident that you're getting the skills that you're going to need to win, and also of course, career advancement. So we're looking at significant increases, 25+% faster job placement over everyone else, 98% course completion rate, and 85% career advancement rates as well. So connections, network is huge in tech, and you're going to be able to look forward to those benefits. But everyone here today, we want to make sure that you guys are going to get the exclusive. So everyone here is going to be able to transform their future, and here's how. So of course we have the boot camp, tap in with Cyrus, but we also have opportunities for you to really get into tech, leverage tech, and learn how tech can enhance not only your life as a business owner, as an individual, but also a creative. And so with these personalized success plans, tap in. There should be a link down below so you can schedule some time on my calendar. Again, complimentary meeting for the first time. And so once we discuss really what you're looking for, what your pain points are, and what your needs are, we'll be able to get you on the right path. And so what we need you guys to do is act fast. The world is changing. Everything is going to come down to you making decisions quickly. And so this is one of them. So don't miss out on the opportunity. Connect with me. Would love to connect with all of you guys. Connect with Cyrus. He's providing a platform so that thousands of people have been able to benefit from the resources and opportunities that boot camps provide. So Cyrus is really dominating in this field. So most definitely tap in with him as well. So take advantage. The future is now, and seize opportunity, you guys. So we have a few questions in the chat here. So, C. Muhammad, thank you. Glad to hear from you. So, how do we keep up? Oh, it was the same question, actually. How do we keep up constant changes? Are there any other questions, you guys, that you have now? This is basically the conclusion of this conversation and session. So please, if you guys have questions, this is the time to ask them, and we will be able to answer them. We're going to conclude in the next few minutes, and we want to thank everyone for being here. But let's go ahead and just really discuss the future. If you guys have any upfront questions about your career path, if you still don't really know what direction to go into, let me know. The future is definitely going to be something where you guys are going to have to continually evolve and develop. Bijan, is there a question that we didn't answer for you? Let's see.
Oh, scam job post. I had to
Oh,
scroll
yeah,
up.
that's a good one. Thank you for reminding us. Thank you for remaining proactive on that. And you know what? That's a valid question. I saw a headline where the majority of job postings on LinkedIn are actually fake job roles. And the reason is because all of these companies are actually looking to just kind of have traffic to their websites or for their services. And so there are a lot of roles that you don't hear back, you apply and you don't hear back, which is why we want to make sure that we're maximizing our time. So we don't want to waste our time sending out thousands of resumes and not hearing back, especially when it comes down to LinkedIn. We want to be able to diversify our search. And so tap in with me. We have the solutions for you to accelerate your career with resume automation and also determining your specific career path plan. It is an unfortunate reality to where the jobs that you are applying to, may not even exist. But we want to make sure that we're, taking the time and making the most of our time that we have. So Tony says transitioning with doing a boot camp can most definitely
That's
help with that. Tap in. Cyrus, go
There's
ahead.
something else I want to jump in with that comment about the scam job post. So
Yes.
we actually have a template that a template goes over how to spot if a job posting is a scam or not. So we have a list of different
Oh,
templates. We have a list of different templates for a variety of things. Like one of the templates we have is how to respond whenever you receive a rejection email. To increase your chances of still getting hired at that company. Because I have a lot of friends where they don't care about a rejection email. Like basically, they showed me some of their tactics where they still ended up working at the company, even if they get a rejection email. So that's a template that we added as well. But anyway, one of the templates we have is it's literally
incredible.
called "Is this job a scam?" is the name of the template. So that's one of that we have in there because yeah, that's a thing that happens. So literally, y'all, when I say y'all, the past 3 years at this point, the Texas Be Black has been helping people get in the industry. It's just we've gotten to the point to where because my team, basically our community success team, which is basically our customer support team, but I call them community success team. Literally every time we get a question that we've never gotten before or a scenario we've never heard of before, we literally make sure we get the answer to that day, and then we add it to our FAQs, and we add it to like, okay, this is the answer moving forward. And sometimes it's something that we determine that we want to make it a short training or a short template and include it within our education for people in our boot camp. So we literally, when I say it's all types of crazy scenarios and things that are things that have been happening that we've been working on. Anyway, Ash, I know you were moving on to the next comment.
Yeah, so Tony here gave us a great clarification, just saying transitioning to doing a boot camp while working in tech, or excuse me, working in tech while doing a boot camp. So diversification is key to success in almost everything when it comes down to your portfolio, whether it be investments or your career. So most definitely best to keep your options open in that. So thank you for asking, Tony. If you have any other questions, happy to answer as well. So great points. So Matt says, is this boot camp for anyone who hasn't been trained in cybersecurity yet? Great question for Cyrus. Go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, short answer, yes. Now again, if you speak to the team, they'll tell you that right now, like for the public, like we have people within our cybersecurity boot camp. But it's not something that long story short, you won't be able to get access to it right now until a couple weeks from now. So I just want to give you a quick heads up with that piece. But yeah, it's for literally it's everything we do is for people that are fresh off the streets. The only thing you need to know is what it is that you want to do in tech. And of course, if you don't know exactly what you want to do, we have a quiz where we're going to update it specifically for the cybersecurity as well. But we have a quiz that helps guide you towards which would be the best path for you. So our quiz, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I mean, I'm always real, but anyway, I'm gonna be real. Our quiz is centered around helping you figure out what to do in tech that's specific to the boot camps or the roles that we offer. What I am going to do in the future, I am going to update it to where it'll direct you towards something, even if it's not what we offer. I'm going to tell y'all why I don't necessarily. I'm not like a fan of promoting other things other than what we offer within our program. It's largely because what we have, like I didn't go to school for QA. I haven't worked in tech as QA. I haven't worked in tech and cybersecurity. The question is, Cyrus, why are you like, why is your team, why are y'all have cybersecurity course or a QA course and you never worked in those fields? I worked in tech sales and now I work in RPA. Why don't we have RPA in our program? It's because I've looked at the market, we looked at the data, we looked at where everything is going. We said, okay, what are the best things for people to learn if they're fresh off the streets and that they also have the highest basically like the market in terms of being able to get jobs, also pays you six-figure salaries, also isn't about to be made obsolete by artificial intelligence. And it's like, yo, these are the roles. Like the RPA isn't that. If you want something that's going to pay you a lot of money and you'll be able to job stack, RPA is good for that. But the market is not
Right.
hiring a lot for RPA. That's why that's not something we
Yeah.
teach. Same thing, like Scrum Master's fun, but the industry is not hiring a lot for Scrum Masters right now. They're folding that into project managers. A lot of project managers are doing Scrum Master stuff. So it's like the
Yeah.
list goes on and on. So I want to be clear. Tech is New Black. We have so many relationships with so many different boot camps, with so many different educators. We could literally have every single type of training, whether you want to do
Mhm.
project management, whatever it is you want to do, we could do that. It's just my heart is to set people up for the best path for success and not have
Yes.
again not basically not do what colleges do. Colleges have curriculums where they know you're not going to get a job from that. It's like you're not going to get it, but colleges don't care. They're like, oh, you want to get a master's degree in history? Yeah, sure. Come on, get a master's degree in history. And the only thing you'll probably be able to give them that is maybe a history teacher, and you're going to make 45, 55,000 a year from that. Colleges don't care. I care. That being said, I know that those other industries are still good industries, even if they're not hiring as much. So we're gonna update our quiz to where it still will include other types of boot camps and other types of education, and we'll just route you to other boot camps. And that's one of the things I'm excited about. Like and this is the only time not the only time. This is definitely a time I'm going to brag or flex on how we operate as Tech is New Black. We are a boot camp that promotes other boot camps. So it's like if we don't have what you want, we're not going to try to convince you to do what we offer. We're going to tell you, hey, these are like right now, like some of the best things to do in the industry. But if you still want to do something else, then we will be able to direct you to a boot camp that we know is proficient in that specific thing. So yeah, so we don't want to limit people when it comes to that stuff. Oliver, my problem, there was a comment or something. How can we
Eugene.
yeah, the template is for the people that are in our boot camp. So let's see. Oh, also, you know what? You can so if you're not in our boot camp, you don't want to do our boot camp, totally cool. If you want access to those templates, you can actually contact Shanae Urquhart or Recruiter Cousin on LinkedIn. She's a tech recruiter at Microsoft. You can contact her on LinkedIn or on Instagram at Recruiter Cousin, and you can buy them off of her because they are her templates. She just gave us the green light to add them within our program. It's like some additional resources. So just kind of a little quick heads up with that piece. So that's how you can get access to the resources if you're not in the boot camp. Um, yeah, I'm currently have a bachelor's degree in psychology, but I'm interested in AI, machine learning. Is there some intersection between my degree and an area of tech that could work best together? Ooh, this is fun. I have a suggestion, and I'm curious what else Ash would suggest. So if you want to leverage your degree in psychology, but you're interested also in machine learning and AI, they have technology that's being worked on and being developed where it's leveraging the psychology field as well as AI and machine learning. Now, what does this look like? This looks like they're working on therapy clinics. I think that's what they're called, practices where they're actually using, in some instances, they're using virtual reality, VR goggles, essentially, where if people who've dealt with some form of trauma or some issue will be able to wear those, and based on their story, their experience, whatever they're going through, the virtual reality, they're able to like kind of re-see what it is they saw or they dealt with, so that way they can step by step overcome that trauma or overcome that fear or overcome that thing. And so again, this is still something that's being tested on and being worked out, but it is technology where they are working on leveraging leveraging AI to be able to make it even better, because this was something they were working on before the AI boom happened, and so now it's been getting enhanced even more now because of AI. So that's one thing that, again, that's in the psychology field. So they need psychologists in that field. But of course, even
Mm.
better if you are a technologist who also is a psychologist. Like you again having both of those. I was talking about those transferable skills. They are working on something right now. Ash and I reported on this about 2 months ago, I think, when we did a weekly tech and AI news, like she was just mentioning. They have something that they're coming out with right now, or they're proposing right now, which is for for people who are prisoners who've committed some type of crime. Let's say someone gets sentenced to 20 years in prison, 30 years in prison. They actually have technology, and they're of course they're still working on it. They're trying to get approval, but they have technology to where there will be virtual prisons where someone will basically they'll get in a virtual reality prison. They will essentially be like put asleep. And I'm paraphrasing. It was a couple months ago when we reported on this, so please look it up. But basically, what it is that someone could technically be in prison for about 1 week, but because of technology, it will make them feel like they've been in prison for 20 years.
Like immersive
So literally,
rehabilitation.
yes, exact. Thank you. That's what it's called. It's called immersive rehabilitation, where people will, because we forget that's what prison is supposed to be. Prison is a combination of three things. It's a combination of punishment for your crime, rehabilitating you so that way you're better for society. And then the third piece is, of course, protecting society from you for a period of time while you're being rehabilitated. Unfortunately, statistics, data has, we all know this. Prison ain't good. You go to prison, it usually makes people worse. It makes them worse for society. It makes them worse for their own selves. It doesn't really rehabilitate them. So they believe that technology can help with this better than actually going to prison. As well as you go to prison, you literally lose life. Like you go to prison for 30 years, you get out, you're an old person. So this technology that they have is meant to say, hey, look, we can rehabilitate, we can make this person a better person, and they can be punished without them actually having to be put away for 20, 30 years. And now they're an old person and they don't have a lot of life to live yet. So again, these are just some of the things off the top of my head. There's a lot that's out there. Ash, what are some things that you've heard of that you know about?
Yeah, I love this as a fellow person who also majored in psychology for my bachelor's. So most definitely, essentially, the brain psychology will give you a baseline of being able to understand how people's minds work. And so, how I basically applied it in my own career, essentially through having the specialization as an AI solutions architect with a focus on generative AI. So we're getting into LLMs, NLPs, natural language processing. And so when you're building these chatbot systems, for example, the startup that I work for now, they're in stealth mode. So, how I typically explain it is imagining the future of healthcare, where you can essentially access and communicate with healthcare professionals. It's an artificial healthcare professional, but they can provide you with immediate solutions to your problems. Not only are they able to provide you with those immediate healthcare solutions, but it's interactive. And so, this is something different, it's something exciting, it's something new. But if you're interested in, how the mind works, then it can be implied in so many ways, just how Cyrus also elaborated on. So definitely look into LLMs, look into natural language processing, because most of the time with psychology, you're going to be good at communication. You're going to be good at understanding from a humanistic level, which is very, very helpful because obviously with the advancement in technology, it's really becoming more and more so kind of robotic. And so nobody really wants to, AI is getting better at it, but the humanistic aspect is going to be key. And so if you're specializing in psychology with that focus on AI, then you're going to be set up to win because you can program, these chat bots. So when I say the language of chatbot systems, it used to be, Python, Java, et cetera, but now we're looking at text-based generative AI programming, LLMs. So there's definitely a place for you, and you can definitely apply your skill set. We have some great questions, and I also want to cover Eugene's question, which is wonderful. So he mentioned Python, and he says, I just want to learn Python. Is there a market for jobs for people who only know Python and not AI? So I love this one because with Python, essentially you have the skills to build on the front end and the back end, almost any systems. And so you have powerful skill set with Python. So if you just kind of want to learn the basics, start there. But you're not like limited to just AI. You know, there's so many different avenues, data analytics, machine learning, etc. Like I said, you're free to build on the front end and back end of almost any system. So Python isn't just limited to artificial intelligence. So I love that question, but you're definitely free to kind of choose what you're most passionate about. And so Tony also made it a wonderful point where he was really just discussing and speaking on how we're interested in really maximizing our time, but working a 9 to 5 is kind of difficult to also really dedicate your time to those boot camps, right? Well, AI also makes it easier than ever to be able to have active learning. So not only can you have that accelerated learning by having to, sit down and learn with boot camps, but we're looking at personally in one of the startups that I'm developing called Better Boost. We're a wearable technology startup, and so we're having you probably seen the Orion glasses that Meta has put out, but essentially without diving into it too much because this is something very very new. But imagine highly immersive high tech glasses, VR, AR glasses, that's going to empower you to work on the go, to play on the go, and to game on the go. So, and get that entertainment on the go. So that means that instead of you having to just like sit down at your computer, you're able to have true freedom, and so you can have active learning. So when you're on lunch break, guess what? You can learn your boot camp. You can watch those videos. You're not just kind of pigeonholed to the existing technologies. So there's a lot more flexibility that's going to be coming about that you can be confident in. Um, so we have a
Could
great,
I could I add something to that, Ash?
yeah, please.
Yeah, another thing, another suggestion would be to do a boot camp that's self-paced. So like our curriculums are self-paced. Now we have it built out to where, for example, like with our QA is set up to where on average a person would finish it anywhere between 5 to 7 months, really 6 months on average. But if somebody wants to finish it in 4 months, they can. And the reason why our QA program is a little longer is because it encompasses everything in QA. So QA, just like tech sales, just like cybersecurity, it's not a job; it's a industry of jobs or sub industry of jobs. Like cybersecurity, you could be a SOC analyst, you could be a pen tester, you can be you can do a variety of things in cybersecurity. Tech sales, obviously, sales engineering, SDR, BDR, account executive, account manager, things like that. QA, you could be a QA
Yes.
analyst, QA engineer, QA automation, QA tester. You can be so like a few different things in QA that you can do as well. So that being said, our QA program is fully comprehensive. It encompasses everything. Like our tech sales program is specifically for account executives. So our tech sales program currently doesn't have sales engineering. We are going to work on enhancing it and including some sales engineering, but that's going to take probably about a year or so because we're also looking at the market for sales engineering to see if it even makes sense. But our QA is fully comprehensive, and the reason for that I want to highlight is because we don't want you to be limited in terms of the job opportunities. So let's say hypothetically speaking, if for every role in QA, if there are 10,000 roles available in the market for that role, well, if you learn everything in QA, and let's say, so roughly there's roughly about 8 different things in QA you can learn. That just opens you up to a market of 80,000 jobs within that that scenario I just gave. So that's the reason why we want to open you up in that space to where any job posting you see for QA, you don't have to wonder, do I have the qualifications
Yes.
for the job? You don't even have to worry. You're like, no, I literally have full comprehensive knowledge of the QA space. So that's the reason why at that length. But that being said, just look for a self-paced boot camp. Whether it's ours or someone else's, just put that in your mind. If you're a busy person or if your schedule fluctuates, look for a self-paced education program.
Love that.
Oh yeah, and
Well
where
said.
do you get the link to the boot camp? Yeah, so someone said, I mean, the link is in the description down below. It'll say Bitly, and then it'll say Ash. But if you click on it and for some reason it doesn't work, someone else here said it wasn't working for them. Some people say does work. If it doesn't work for you, then just go to techisthenewblack.com. And you'll see like this logo, like the where am I pointing? Yeah, like right there. No, right there. That logo. You'll see that logo there on the screen. And you can check that out, see some different testimonials of people who've done our bootcamp. I actually did a testimony last night with someone who's in our bootcamp right now. She did another QA bootcamp somewhere else, and a lot of people in our program, not a lot, let me not exaggerate. About 4 people in our program right now have done, they've either went to college or they've done a boot camp for literally the exact same thing that they're learning in our boot camp. And we've had a lot of people that are like, their first weekend are like, whoa, this is way better than what I went to college for, way better than the other boot camp. And I'm not gonna lie, after hearing that for a bit,
Mhm.
it was like, you know what, let's start interviewing some of y'all so people could see, people can really see, because every now and again, whenever people talk to my career advisors and they're like, oh, well, should we do this program? Like, should we do Texas New Blacks or should we do this other one? And so, of course, my team is like, yo, like, I mean, we make ours to
Mhm.
be the best, and we have all of these resources, all this stuff. Every now and again, somebody is like, I'm gonna do this other program. And so my team was bringing that up, and we were like, okay, well, all right, what can we do to like really show people like the quality of what it is we offer? So that's one thing we did. The other thing that we did, y'all asked the team if y'all want this as well. We literally just opened it up for a 7-day free trial of our boot camp. So you get access for 7 days, and it's not one of those goofy things where you put your card down, you pay, and then after 7 days you're charged, and it's nothing goofy like that. It's literally a free trial for 7 days. You get 7 days of access to the curriculum. For anybody that just got questions, anybody that's like, yo, is the juice really worth the squeeze? So those are a couple of things that we've added to really like allow people to see the value of what they're getting, and then really see if it makes sense for you. Because again, our boot camp isn't for everybody. It's like, yo, check it out, see if it is for you, if it makes sense. Um, how do you pay for the program? Uh, Go ahead and drop your card information right here in the chat. No, I'm joking. I'm totally joking. That'd be crazy. Drop your card information in the chat. Everybody screenshot it. Put your zip code, all of that. No, that's hilarious. No, so depending on what you want to do, so literally just you have to book and schedule. First off, you have to speak to our qualifying team to see if you qualify for the boot camp and if our boot camp qualifies like for you, like if it makes sense. Through there, that's when you will speak with our career advisors. Our career advisors, they're the ones that like really talk to you more so about, okay, what are your goals? What are you trying to do? Okay, let me like, what are your goals? What are you trying to do? They also go into making sure you're going the right route you want to go. Because we've had some people that are like, oh, I want to do tech sales. And it's like, why? Well, because Cyrus did tech sales and he seems to be pretty successful. So I want to do my career advice. They're not going to say, okay, you're going to do tech sales. They're like, okay, they want to learn more about like your background. They want to learn more about your learning style. So like make sure you fully understand everything that we do within the program, everything we offer, all of that good stuff. And so their job isn't to be QA people, by the way. Like their job isn't to like do Q&A where they're answering your questions, because we have FAQs, we have a website for all of that. I just want to be clear. But they are there to, like career advisors, make sure you're being guided towards the thing that is right for you. That's their job. So yeah, so then once all of that's confirmed, and once you're like, okay, cool, this is what I want to do. I feel good with this. And then also like, hey, like what like basically like where are your finances at? Like we have people that have done our boot camp where they just outright just pay like straight up. They like boom. And then there are people that are like, hey, I don't have much money right now. We have an amazing financing partner that we really were trying to get with them, and we just got them. So I'm so excited. About 95% of the people that are in our boot camp right now, it was before we got the financing partner, and definitely 100% of the people that have finished our boot camp, it was before our financing partner. But the financing partner, literally, no matter where you're at financially, they're able to cover you. And literally the first 9 months, like if you qualify, and again, I want to be very clear, if you qualify for the boot camp first, and then 2, if you qualify for the financing partner, which again, they're really great at accepting most people, they have a option where you actually will only pay about $60 for $60 a month. So It's really incredible. Because again, y'all, my goal now, mind you, I'm not a person that I want to help people that are serious. That's what we're here for. Please don't sign up for our boot camp. I don't care if you got money, you ain't got money. Don't sign up unless you're serious. The reason why is because it doesn't matter how good our program is, we can't make you successful. You have to really put the work in as well. Like we do everything, but you just got to put the work in. Like, you got to show up. You got to put the work in. I don't want anybody who's not here to work. We don't care about your money. I got money. I'm in tech. I'm good. My team is good. We're straight. My team will get paid out of the way. We straight. I want to help people. Like I want to help people. But I'm gonna be real with y'all. I don't want people doing my program and they're not serious. My team doesn't want people doing our program and you're not serious. And it really hurts the success rate of our program. Like I want people to be able to look and see like great testimonies, great stories. And the only thing we need are people that are serious. And it's like, but if you're not serious, or if you're like, I'm not really sure. If you're somebody where you're like, you just want to test it out and try it out, it's like, please don't come here. Please don't come here. Because we want good energy. We have a great community, a great Discord. Ash can as well. We literally just collaborated with Buckhead Networking Group in Atlanta, which is a membership group of over 5,000 people. And they have recurring events every 2 weeks. These are recurring professional events. So through our relationship with them, through the sides of Texas and Black, our connection with recruiters, we're doing a lot of cool stuff to not just help people break into tech, but to scale and have a crazy resource of a networking community. That being said, we want fire people with us, y'all. Like we want people who are not just excited about getting a great career, but you are just excited to be a part of the movement of what it is that we're doing. Steve Reichert said, best investment I made, 11 weeks down. I appreciate that, Steve. Appreciate that, man. Good stuff. Yeah. So Steve's in the program. I would say like reach out to someone like him or other people in the program and ask them, what their experience is like in it. So there's a lot of work the team and I are doing to try to make it better. But all in all, it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope, pretty cool. All right, off that. I do have to jump. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question, Tony. Long story short, talk to the team, book a call, talk to the team, all that good stuff. If everything's good to go, then they'll get you right with that stuff. So super cool. Last question, or not last question is Brent, I'm so serious. That's hilarious. Yo, so tap in then. I'm definitely tapping. You learn Python in our program. You learn a variety of different things. Because again, it's full comprehensive, specifically for QA. Because QA, some roles involve coding. So again, we make sure that you learn that stuff as well. But food for thought question is, what AI program is good for working with government agencies? My answer is schedule a free consultation with Ash. And so that way she can go over that with you. And anybody else who has like other questions about AI right now, make sure y'all book a consultation with Ash and tap in with her. And for anyone, including Tony, you speak with the team, and if you qualify for the boot camp and it makes sense, make sure you bring up Ash so that way the team can hook you up with a discount, so you saving some monies. So definitely tap in with the team when it comes to that. So other than that, y'all, I love y'all. I'm going to hop. I think Ash is probably going to hop as well. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Ash, thank you so much for this. Amazing. Ash is a killer at these presentations and putting these together. Amazing presentation. We'll love it so very much. Thank you. All right, y'all. Everybody,
Yeah,
y'all have
thank
a
you.
all right. Go ahead, Ash.
Yeah, I mean, thank you, Cyrus. And you guys heard it first. The best boot camp on the market. You guys can get it. Tap into that link. Don't miss out. Run, do not walk to get into the tech industry, you guys. But other than that, have a great night and looking forward to further discussions.
Peace.
Peace.